Hello, my beautiful earth signs. What? All right, so this week in our energy, I just uploaded the water video, and I had to take a little bit of a break. My ears are ringing. I'm seeing sparks out of the corner of my eyes. I feel like I'm in this fog, and I'm really trying to get myself grounded. So I pulled my selenite and my amethyst, and really just allowed myself to just kind of calm, right, in our energy. The first one that we pulled for this week was the wolf energy, which is the first card that came out, right? This is very much that energy of how I feel, right? It's like I'm so focused on certain little things that are coming in, or I'm like, why? Is this coming into my energy now, right? Why is that happening, right? It's like really been one of those what the fuck kind of energies for the last 2 weeks, where it's like all this stuff, learning how to clear it and cleanse it and heal it and being okay with it, right? And then moving on. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of creeps back in. So, with this wolf energy, it's very much about learning to ground, right? Learning to take care of soul tribe, right? Leading the pack, right? Making sure that everybody gets where everybody needs to be. And that's really the energy that I feel from that wolf card. So we also pulled the eternal gatekeeper, acknowledge and assert and protect, which very much goes with this wolf energy, with how I feel it, being very protective of not only myself, but of the collectives, and making sure that we're getting where we need to be in energy. But this is acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you, right? And I remember in either last week's or the week before, really just wanting to protect the empire that I've been building, right, within soul collectives. And this is very much the energy of how I'm feeling, right? It's like, yeah, seeing like these little sparks that are in here, right? These little twinkles. That's exactly how I see things just coming out of the side of my peripheral vision. And it's again being very grounded, stable, sturdy, right? Very much at peace, right, with where we are in our energy with the eternal gatekeeper. So I clarified that and asked, what is it that we are to acknowledge, assert, and protect, right? Because it is about what's for the earth signs, right? What are we asserting our energy into? And it's all about learning from life, right? Being able to take off with all this knowledge, this wisdom, right? This that you have gained over these cycles of learning how to cut energy and then move energy forward, and then learn how to keep that cycle going, right? So it's like being able to manifest this energy and take off, right? It's almost like being the student, learning the information, and then going out and teaching it, which is exactly that wolf energy, right? Making sure that you're protecting the elders, the traditional values, all the wisdom and knowledge that you've been learning, right? It's learning from life and then moving this energy out into the world, right? Really being able to manifest with spirit, because here, right, if you look, there's like an arm, right, that's just kind of sticking out and you don't see. It's like, and that's almost how I feel that anxiety that I've been going through over the last change within these last couple of days. It's just been really strong for me, and it's almost like, and that's why I've been feeling like, why is that? I wasn't expecting that to enter into my energy, right? And so it's like there's something that you're still, right? It's almost like It's almost like someone shows up and it's unexpected, right? Like you're off doing your thing, you're ready to go out, you're doing all this stuff, right? Taking yourself where you want to go, and all of a sudden there's someone at your door and you're like, oh, right? And it's almost like unexpected, and that's how I feel it in my energy. It's just, to me, it's like almost unexpected, like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting you, to come in. Which makes sense, because it very much goes along with that wolf energy, being in that protection mode, right? And being the gatekeeper, about acknowledging, inserting, and protecting what is right for you, right? It's almost like don't show up unannounced, or you could have warned. I don't know. It's just it's an uneasy feeling, and so for me, I'm almost not sure what to do with that energy, because it's like I feel something is about to happen, as I'm about to go off and do what I'm set out to do, right? And my fires, my passions, my desires, whatever it is, and put that to use and be the wolf energy, right? And then all of a sudden here's this, and it's almost like, so I don't know how to react to that energy. So earth signs, let's continue. So we have creative power, right? This is about releasing your alchemical energy into the world, right? So again, this is like the Empress and the Magician energy, right? Turning pain into pleasure, birthing, which is why there's that eternal gatekeeper and that learning from life, right? It's like you've learned so many lessons and you've done all this studying and you have all this knowledge and this wisdom and all these books, and it's like going out to then insert that into how you're manifesting, right, in this energy, what it is that you want to birth, because there's a green sash here, and it's all about that heart chakra energy, being naked, being raw. It's like manifesting non-stop. All this energy is like just manifesting, and my dreams have been just really intense in my energy, and so it's been really, I've been just trying to be able to stay grounded and focus on what's going on, because there's so much information that's coming in, especially in my dream realm, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with that? And so this is go with the flow, right? So they're saying create all these things, right? But how you're going to do it is going with the flow. And this energy, which is funny, it reminds me of this energy here, right? It's like you're ready to take off, and all of a sudden something unexpected comes in that you weren't expecting to deal with. And so then it's almost like an insertion, or someone's knocking at the door, right? Because in this one, here she is in the boat, and look, she lost her paddle. It's like, Spirit, you done put me in my emotions without a damn paddle, right? And so on the front here's like the stars, right? And so this is like, no, just allow yourself to just move through these emotions, go with the flow, and rely on the stars, right? Which is how they used to do it back in the Viking days, right? They didn't have a clock to tell time. It was, you were navigating through the stars, right? So navigating through your intuition, because you're up a creek without a paddle. That's how I feel it. And so it just kind of just gives me that anxiety, because it's like, shit, that's how I've been feeling. It's almost like I've been feeling like something was about to shake down, but I really couldn't put my finger on it. And so for us this week, it's really, we're just kind of going with the flow and manifesting and protecting what is right for us, right? So whatever this unexpected energy is that kind of comes in, it's like, go with the flow in that energy. It's about learning the lessons, right? And so when people come into us, right, it's always about they're either here for part of the journey or they're here to teach us a lesson. And it's like I've been learning enough. Thank you so much. Shit. So then we also have the lantern, which is our consciousness is the light, right? And so here's that, taking your power back, right? Relying on that energy for manifesting, which is why we have that creative power. Just being able to go with the flow, because we don't have a paddle to take ourselves anywhere. We have to go with the current, wherever the current takes us, right? But she doesn't look sad about it. She looks happy about it. She just got that face like, oh, shit, I just lost my paddle. Okay, I can do this, right? So just going with the flow of the emotions, because when we're in our consciousness, right, there's those headaches that I've been getting in my T-zone. It's like in just this area here, and it doesn't hurt, but it's just a lot of pressure, and it has been just really annoying, right? And so there's our consciousness, right? Really being able to protect ourselves and our energy, right? And be able to guide ourselves where we need to be, because there's the two lanterns, right? Just kind of lighting the way here for this beautiful divine feminine energy to just kind of go with the flow. And there's all these waves in the back, right? And then there's like this building that's supposed to be off in the background there. This is actually really a beautiful card. And so again, it's just really allowing ourselves to light the way, right? Because we don't have a paddle, and we've learned all these life lessons, and now it's time to lead us in with the pack here, with the soulkins, right? In this wolf energy. So clarifying the lantern, it's about meditation to dig deep, right? And so again, it's about keeping ourselves grounded, keeping ourselves in balance, keeping ourselves in the focus, right, of what we're meditating, right? What we're meditating on, the feelings that we get as we're trying to move through this energy with all this unexpectedness that's going on, learning to work through this anxiety, right? And I did the water signs before I did earth signs, and I remember in podcast on Wednesday, none of us were pulling our own energy, right? Water signs had Queen of Wands energy, chasing their fires, passions, and desires, which is exactly what in their energy started out with the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, right? Then we had for the earth signs the Queen of Cups energy, right, being in our emotions. And then we had the fire signs were pulling the grounding energy, right, which is where the fire signs, I feel like this is the energy I'm feeling from the fire and the water, because that's where I'm, as an earth sign, stuck between these two, right? Fire is trying to ground this energy for us so we can be in our emotions, because this is a trigger for us. I don't do water. I need a snorkel. I need floaties. I got to think about that shit. I don't do boats. And so for me, and then all of a sudden, here's what happens. I lose my paddle and I'm stuck in the middle of the fucking water. And go figure, Spirit, that gives me fucking anxiety. I ain't even trying to play. And so Spirit's like, meditate and dig deep on that shit, boo-boo. There's something that's going on, some unexpected something that you got to be able to just go with the flow. So whatever it is this week for us earth signs, right? This is a general read. So, you know, it could be anything for any one of us, whatever it is, right? But it causes anxiety and triggers almost like a fight or flight energy for me, especially when I seen and notice like just a hand as I'm ready to like take off, all of a sudden someone shows up at my door, or I'm out in the middle of the fucking water and there goes my paddle and I'm panicking, right? And so learning to keep myself grounded in this energy and in balance, especially when we're pulling, you know, the Queen of Cups energy and podcast for this week was very, very unsettling, so to speak. And then we had the air signs, right, which is our truth, stepping into Empress energy, right? And there's that creative abundance, that power that we're trying to bring this in. And how are we trying to bring this in? Is through speaking our truth, right? Through our throat chakra. And I was like, well, Spirit, I don't understand that. I speak my truth all the time, whether people want to hear it or fucking not. So what is this about? It's... And then we have our crown chakra, the unlimited self, right? Don't put limitations on who we are. And see, and that made sense to me, because then I was like, man, I've been getting so many headaches, right? And I'm, you know, it's almost like there's some truth, right, that's coming in that we need to focus on, which is why we need to dig deep in our emotions, which is why Spirit drowned us without, or left us without a paddle, right? So we could... I'll jump out of the fucking boat to get over there to that land. I ain't even playing. I will fucking do it. So then that's why Spirit took our paddle away, because they're like, no, you got to feel this. You got to see it, right? You can't leave yourself in this limiting belief that you can't swim, because we can. Should we need to, if we're in that fight or flight, we can always swim, right? Which is why I feel like there's some kind of eternal, with this eternal gatekeeper, it's about acknowledging, asserting, and protection for what is right for you, right? So I feel like Spirit is having us this week. It feels almost like a test to me in my emotions, which could make sense why certain things have been coming through in my energy, and I'm like, oh, why is that coming up, right? Then I'm always like, no. No, right? And so then all of a sudden here I'm in a boat and I don't have a paddle, and I'm like, well, fuck, now I got to focus on that energy. So we're going to start to clarify in this energy and kind of find out what it is. Yeah, see, because on the split, it's the King of Swords and the Page of Wands. So it's something about truth and justice, right? Speaking our truth. There's that knowledge that we've been gaining in masculine energy, but it's about our fires, our passions, and our desires. So let's go ahead and clarify. Knight of Wands. See, this came out in the water signs too. This was their first card with the Page of Wands. So this learning from life and using it to acknowledge, assert, and protect what is for us is moving forward in our fires, passions, desires, right? Making sure that we are making progress and making movement, because at some point this week something is going to test us in our emotions, which is, again, why we have the Empress and the Magician energy with creative power, right? Releasing your alchemical energy in the world. And for me, it's very much about what I've been birthing, what I've been manifesting, what it is that I'm trying to get out there, right? Which is the Knight of Wands. I'm making movement and I'm trying to keep myself balanced in that energy, and take what I have learned from life and put it to use, right? But it's, I don't know, earth signs, it is what it is, but we're going to see if we can find more information out about it. But it's, yeah, see, it's something about our new beginnings, right, that we've been manifesting, right? Because then we have the full card, movement in our fires, passions, and desires, keeping ourselves balanced, right? That's the key. That's why we're in our emotions, is because we have to feel this energy to be able to dig deeper, right? To be in that consciousness, right? To be able to see it for the emotions that it is, because that's that travel that we're making for these new beginnings. So with this lantern, right, being the consciousness of light and meditating to dig deep, it's because, yes, we want the Four of Wands energy. We want happy home, happy hearth, happy abundance, passionate relationships, equally giving and receiving in emotions, right? And therefore, there's the journey, right? There's going through our enlightenment with the Three of Wands. See, we see it, but now we just got to travel to get there. Which is why we need, oh, see, that's probably why Spirit took our damn paddle. To make us sit in that energy, because the only way we're going to get those new beginnings is if we take this enlightenment, right? Dig deeper to find out what it is that we want, which is probably why some of this energy has been coming back in for me. So let's find out about this throat chakra energy, because I express my truth. I don't even know what they're trying to tell me with that. So then it's about King of Pentacles energy, expressing your truth, equally giving and receiving, right? Being stable, sturdy, solid, abundant, right? That's why we're making forward movement in our fires, passions, and desires, because we're trying to keep this grounded in our truth. But it's about speaking our truth, right? Because then we're not limiting ourselves to, see, and that's where I'm like, I don't. Because then our unlimited self, see, then we step into the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles, look, there is masculine, feminine energies, there's going through, see, and that's how I see it here, where there's like that light at the end of the tunnel. Going through this enlightenment, and that's what brings in those new beginnings, this Ten of Pentacles, the abundance, the nurturing energy. Because there's the same couple that's in here with the Four of Wands. See, to me, it's like you lit up journey, right? And started traveling the path, and then all of a sudden it started coming into you. That's why we had to dig deep in that meditation. It's probably why I have anxiety about it. It's like, it's almost like I wasn't expecting this to happen. But once I ground the energy, right, King of Pentacles, then the Ten of Pentacles comes in. Because we set in the emotions, which is why it's almost like, because for me it's like, why is this coming back into my energy? Or why do I need to think about that? It has nothing to do with me. I'm ready to put my energy into this movement, right? Wolf energy. Because I've learned all these lessons in life, right? But in order to get this, it's almost like Spirit saying, with this, release your alchemical energy into the world by going with the flow. It's almost like Spirit's like, we brought this to you for you to sit in this energy, because that's where the new beginnings are. See, it's like there's all these keys. That's the new beginnings with this consciousness energy, and why we're digging deep in meditation to understand heart and ego. Yeah, temperance. See, it's almost like Spirit did this on purpose. Because otherwise I wouldn't have traveled down my emotions and lost a fucking paddle, because that's exactly what I would have been fearful of. Yeah. So let's find out more about this Knight of Wands energy. See, the Knight of Wands making movement, learning from life, moving in this forward direction. Here's the Queen of Pentacles, which is exactly what we had in podcast. It's about being in your heart chakra energy. See, that's why Spirit took our damn paddle. right? Because we need to be in these emotions because the portal is open. That's why we're manifesting at such a quick rate, these new beginnings, and why we had to stop, and why Spirit brought this connection back in. See, because even look at the way this Queen of Cups is she's like cupping this energy, like, oh my gosh, right? It's like keeping it in protection. And that's how I feel about my emotions. It's like, right? Oh, see, that is so crazy. I'm just seeing orbs out of the side of my freaking eyeballs. See, it's like flashes. The flashes that are on the side that I'm getting look like this, right? It's like out of the corners of my eyes. So these new beginnings are because we're in the Queen of Cups. We're going with the flow because the portal is open, which is why we're making movement in that Knight of Wands. Let's find out about the full energy, these new beginnings. See, King of Wands. There is that masculine energy. It's like an in and out energy. See, and that's why it triggers fight or flight for me. Because the King of Wands knows what he wants, right? He comes in and he gets what he wants, but it's also very much an in and out energy. It's not, sometimes it's not stable. Sometimes it can be volatile, which is how I feel sometimes. Why is the King of Wands here? Two of Swords, right, because it's about making a choice to go through this rebirth to get these new beginnings. Three of Wands energy, Spirit. Listening, right, the High Priestess energy. See, here's all that knowledge and wisdom that we've gathered up, learning from life, listening to our intuition as we're going through these changes, these phases, right? Because that's what it is. It's like following our intuition on journey, because otherwise we're stuck without a paddle. So we need to be able to know how to balance and not trigger anxiety. We need to be able to go with the flow. Let's find out about the Four of Wands energy. See, the Four of Wands gives us the Ten of Wands and the Page of Wands. We close out old burdens. See, rising like the phoenix. We close out old and start with new passions, fires, desires. We drop the old, we drop the burden. See, Spirit did this on purpose. I almost feel like my guides are laughing about it. Like, because for me, it's so serious to be triggered because I don't do water. And then to have someone just show up all of a sudden as I'm about to go out and start on my path of the things that I'm building, protecting my empire, right? And then being in the water without a paddle. But I don't feel like it's being done in a harmful way, right? I just feel like they don't understand. I don't even know how to describe this. It's almost like because for them it's just energy, right? And they're like, we knew that you wouldn't stop and do this, that it would trigger fight or flight for you, and that you would just stay on ground and not get in that Queen of Cups and protect this energy. Let's find out about the King of Pentacles, because this is where we're listening to our intuition, grounding it, making it stable. Yeah, see, Two of Wands. There's making a choice. This is making a choice to move forward. And then we have the Queen of Wands, or the Three of Wands. We have a lot of Wands energy in here. 10 of Wands, Page of Wands, 4 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands, King of Wands, and a Queen of Cups. So here's us balancing in our heart and then setting out on these fires, passions, and desires, right? Because we know what we want, which is why we were ready to go out the door, right? Because then we have the wolf energy, right? This is that wolf energy where it's like, I'm very, very in tune with what I see, hear, and feel, right? Which is why the portal is open, because we are making movement in the Knight of Wands. This is all wands for the earth signs. Because then we have the fire signs who were pulling the Queen of Pentacles, right? Keeping that balance and helping to bring down this energy, because the Star card, right? The portal is open for them to bring this energy down and to move it forward. Let's find out about the Ten of Pentacles, Spirit. The unlimited self, right? Not putting limits. Yeah, Page of Swords. See, it's very much being, there's your truth. Going through the truth of transformation. But that almost doesn't make sense to me, because I speak my truth anyway. Why is the Page of Swords here? Spirit, why is the Page of Swords here with the Ten of Pentacles? Because it's the strength of your truth that you're building on. That's what you're protecting, earth signs, this week. My nose is just, it's like witchy vibes coming through. Because even in this making the choice, right, this Two of Swords, it's about the emotions, right, and the alignment of this moon cycle. Because that's, see, and again, here's a butterfly over the third eye and crown chakra, transforming. You have to make the choice to move this forward, right? We can't be an ego. So we have the Queen of Cups, right? Our heart chakra energy, protecting what is right for you. Be assertive and acknowledge what this movement is, right? Because there's that Knight of Wands, right? Making this movement, and here we're ready to fly, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody stops us for a second and puts us in our emotions. So I'm not quite sure, earth signs, if this is part of journey or if it's something else, because it's also about learning from life, right? All right, let's find out. Knight of Wands. Yeah, see, it's not all of a sudden, see, and there's that, we got to stay in our, we got to be out of our head with it, though.